What's up, goobers? Welcome to the video. You want to see how I made this? You're in luck, because welcome to the video. Enough chatting. Let's go ahead and get this video started. It's going to be a beautiful time lapse. I hope y'all enjoy it. Alright, now with the intro out of the way, welcome everyone to the video. So let's start off with talking about how I outline my tracks. Recently I've been doing my tracks about 4 wide with all of the cars pushed together door to door, just to make it as wide as possible without making it too unrealistic. Of course, you want there to be at least an extra lane when you go 3 wide at these races, which is why I've been making these tracks 4 wide instead of 3 wide as I used to. And of course you can see here sketching out the turns and the straightaways are already used with the yardstick, but use the pencil to sketch out the turns. Obviously you don't want to use Sharpie on the beginning. I have used it plenty of times before, and obviously it's very dumb, not the best idea. I obviously do recommend to use a pencil to sketch out your track, as it is the best way to do that, as if you do make a slight mistake or a slight miscalculation in your sketching, then you could easily erase that lead and then go back in to fix it. And then we can see my kitty cat has joined me. Little Coco, my little favorite cat in the world, joined us for a little bit, as now we're going to be moving on to sketching out not just the rest of the turn, but as well as the apron going through turns 1 and 2. And of course that little apron is used for the pit exit in the IRL Milwaukee mile. But obviously you can see I'm using my second phone there, iPhone 8, really dookie phone, not that good of a phone, I will say. But Google Maps obviously being a really big help when it comes to making these tracks before painting on the rest of the details. And of course with painting, you want to take every single car off the track before you begin that. And now, of course, we begin the painting, of course, with the acrylic paints. Now, a friend of mine, you might know him as Misscraft, discovered that if you mix in a ton of browns, tans, and other kinds of brownish colors with the gray and black paint when making your track surface, it will make it look more worn out and, of course, make it look aged and more realistic, if you will. And, of course, the Milwaukee Mile, it's been quite a while since that track has been repaved, so this turned out perfectly for this track. Of course, I don't necessarily remember the last time it was repaved, but it definitely does give it that old look to it. And of course, using the garage area, or the infield, if you will, mixing in just a little bit of white with a ton of black, that makes that really nice fresh looking asphalt color that you see in the middle. And then of course with the grass, you just get a nice little forest green or hunter's green, or just a green that looks like vegetation, if you will, for the grass. And of course you can use some textured matting stuff. I forgot what the stuff is really called, but some stuff that you can cut out like little strips of it, kind of like a wallpaper type thing, but it's textured. It looks like grass, mostly used for like model stuff. You can find that stuff at Walmart or any kind of craft store that is near you at all. And you can see here I'm working on the little lane that is paved, that was repaved. I don't know when it was repaved, but it might have just been for trucks, or might have been done more recently than that. But while watching highlights for the truck race, I noticed that that this little lane here was repaved, so I decided to add that on before I decided to continue with the rest of the painting and the walls. And speaking of the walls, here they are. Right here you can see painting the blue walls for the Milwaukee Mile. They were blue all the way around. Now, I use poster board to make my walls. I usually cut them up into strips that are just below or just short of an inch tall, Most of my other tracks do have the walls at about an inch tall, and they showed to be just a little bit too high for the tracks that I was using. I noticed some of that during filming, like at Atlanta. But a good way to measure how tall your walls really need to be is if you take one of the die casts that you are using to film, and you just put it, you just place it up against the poster board that you're going to cut up, and just mark it on the top of the roof, and you should be able to get a perfect height for a wall. And of course, here now you could see me painting down the rumble strip, or whatever the thing is, the little curb thing in the turns, with that yellow paint pen, and then going back in with the white paint pen. Probably should have waited for the yellow to dry, because I did smear it just a little bit, and it took a couple streaks on a separate piece of paper in order to get the white paint pen to be fully white again without having any of that yellow there. But now here is where I was trying to paint the other curb, and I cut it short for some reason. I don't know why I did that. I guess my thought process was that there's an opening there for like safety trucks and all that, so I figured that I should leave it short there. But obviously now we get to gluing down the walls now that everything is all dry. And you can see I'm using that Kevin Harvick 124 and some other 124s to hold these walls down. I recommend to only do this once all paint is dry. Do not use 124s to weigh down stuff that is not dry. I had every bit of paint dry already, so I did not have to worry about ruining these die casts, undercarriage, or tires, or whatever. But just letting you know, to not use the 124s to weigh down your stuff if it is not fully dry. And you can see me now. I am taking some extra die casts and using them to sketch out, or not sketch out, but get an idea of where the pit wall will be. Now, of course, kind of struggled here because I didn't leave myself any other lines for the pit wall. I feel like I should have, but of course you can see now sketching out where the pit boxes will be. I'll then go back in there with some lighter gray in order to make the actual pit boxes, to make them look like concrete. But if you're wondering what kind of glue I am using to put these walls down, it is tacky glue. You might have heard of it, you may not have, but it is glue that you can find almost anywhere, really. I found this stuff at the Dollar Tree near me, but you could find it online. You can find it at Walmart. I believe Dollar General sometimes has it. But yeah, it's a really good glue. It's, as a matter of fact, I might have said this before in a previous video, but it is holding together almost all of my damaged die casts as we speak, and we know how demolished those things are. As a matter of fact, the Ross Chastain damaged car from Nashville, the entire hood isn't even a part of the car anymore. It is its own separate piece now. So yeah, the only thing that is holding that car together in one piece is tacky glue. So that just goes to show how good that is. Now, onto a big part that I completely forgot about before I decided to glue down the walls. Big dum-dum on my part, but I forgot to add the start-finish line, one of the main components of a racetrack, the start-finish line, and I completely forgot to draw that and glue it down. So here I am fixing that. Of course, I didn't know exactly how wide my track was in like inches or whatever, so I had to take I had to take 4 cars, figure out how wide I needed it to be. It came up just a little short, but it's barely noticeable on camera and in the animation. And of course, I cut it out, and then take some good old glue stick, and then the nice purple one, and glue that down in the center of the front stretch. And of course, we got the choose rule as well, which I drew those up a while ago. I set up a little piece of paper and drew out a ton of choose cones, and I've been using that for track making ever since. And obviously now you can see me with my paint pens, a nice yellow one, a nice white one, using them to sketch out lines on pit road. Of course, you got timing lines, you got the lines for the pit boxes, as well as that yellow line right in the middle of pit road to signify where the start finish line is, and of course the commitment lines. And now I'm taking off every single car on the track, and I'm just getting ready to set up this track, making it look like it is ready for a championship event. Now, of course, a ton of cars. You can see the 3 champions already with that little trophy, which I only recently found. Actually, we were cleaning out a few cabinets here in my room, and from old dressers that we have not yet moved, and I found some of those. I found 2 of those actually. And I feel like that was pretty cool to use. I found that before I started filming Season 4, and you guys have seen them in on that little box thing ever since. So now that the track is all set up, let's go ahead and add the championship banners to this championship 4. Ross Chastain going first. Going to be going in numerical order here. But what I used for this is just some simple masking tape that I took a red Sharpie to. Now, of course, your championship banners don't need to be red. It could be whatever color your series represents, whether it be blue, green, yellow, purple, whatever sponsor your series has. But I do not recommend using duct tape. I feel like duct tape is a bit of a risk, especially when you could possibly take off some of the paint from the cars. So I do recommend using masking tape. 1, it's easier to cut, and 2, it is really disposable as well. And it also doesn't pick up any paint from the cars at all, so you can take them right off and they don't leave anything bad. Well, that's going to do it for this time lapse, and if you want to know when the championship will be decided for Season 4, it will be on March 9th, 2024 at 12 p.m. PST or 3 p.m. EST. We'll see you all there.